Author Family System, 2060, Natalia Poluektova, Pisareva. Method, The Voice of Sleep, Mama B. Case document, Post-vaccination encephalitis following DTaP. Modular speech restoration system. Part 3. 3 kingdom modules are presented within which work with the illness takes place. The child understands that there are different worlds with different rules. Within the module, we draw and establish the sense of a full-scale, complete world. New neural connections are formed in the child. Vision imagination moves through the worlds following the fairy tale plot and characters. Movement, smell, and taste are involved. This is very important for children undergoing long-term treatment. For children with cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, anxious children with ASD, and bedridden children. In the fairy tale, the plot is written in a sequential order. Core task. The working module grows the inner vertical in the same way a flower is grown. Through work with the core of the problem is moved into the form of a task. A solution appears within the module: relaxation and stabilization of the nervous system, fixation of positive experience, free breathing, return of spontaneous movement, activation of speech. Task of learning independent nervous system, self-recovery. The nervous system memorizes a sequence of actions. The child becomes familiar with their inner world choice of tool problem solving. The child independently determines which way they will recover. After completing the module, the child applies the positive experience in real life. Within the modules, I create conditions in which the child independently recognizes the problem and solves it logically. For the child, everything takes place safely in a play-based format. Fairy Tale Module 1. I lay a foundation in the child through the image of Milena, Princess of Alfika, a strong, creative, and harmonious personality who finds happiness in realizing her talent and is not afraid to be real. The module is designed as a return to the child's original dreams and inner direction. This return is built through the depth of the text, where new elements are added step by step and the scale is expanded. Within the module, we invite the child into play. According to the fairy tale plot, the child becomes the main character and step by step within the module independently receives tasks, applies both logical and non-logical solutions, gains experience, and forms a roadmap for recovery. A child with an illness is in a state where the nervous system is exhausted. In the fairy tale, the child directly participates in the play, going through all modules without physical activity. We return the child to the position of an active participant. Module 2. In the second module, control is removed and a state of relaxation is fixed. Important point: preparation of the speech channel is underway. Speech is not launched directly. Control is removed. The girl's inner strength is constantly active, creating continuous, rigid, holding control. This control blocks spontaneous movement, breathing, and the launch of speech. The child's inner strength is not suppressed through the therapeutic fairy tale module. It is taken outside, like carrying a box out the door, and it is taken by the neuro avatar, the little unicorn, like when I take a heavy bag from you so it is easier for you to walk. For children of any age and with conditions of any severity, this is a safe and reliable helper within the therapeutic module. The child practices this technique like a boxer training a striking technique again and again, bringing it to automatic response and refining the skill. The problem is guiding, like guiding a child across the road, into a task, a solution. The nervous system receives positive experience and fixes the result, like placing a medal around an athlete's neck for first place. The child does not return to this problem again. The child applies the lived experience in real life. The nervous system fixes a signal of safety and ease. Tension leaves, and the nervous system calms down. Disruption of the sequence of therapeutic modules leads to failure of the result, like improper preparation of an athlete leads to the loss of an Olympia medal. All actions are designed with a precise goal and a positive outcome. The girl is unique with advanced understanding and her own strategic rules for interacting with the external world. The work applied the author's method, Neurohologram 2060 by Natalia Poluektova-Pisareva. Neurohologram 2060 is an autonomous module designed for people working under high load, strategists, leaders, military personnel, adolescents, and adults who, 1. Are undergoing recovery after severe stress or trauma. 2. Have a nervous system on the verge of breakdown. Therapeutic modules of are used in situations where the psyche cannot cope independently and is on the verge of breakdown. Neurohologram is a stabilization module created for people working under high responsibility and constant load. It is applied in states where prolonged pressure leads to loss of internal control, and a person is unable to make a balanced decision. The therapeutic module is used for leaders and strategists whose decisions affect large systems and require clear thinking in strategic matters. In such moments, Neurohologram creates a temporary external protective contour, relieves internal pressure, prevents strategic errors, and allows a person to briefly disconnect for recovery. After short stabilization, they return to work with restored clarity and the ability to sustain long-term strategic cycles. In the therapeutic module, we work with the child's inner strength. We show how it can be distributed safely through play, using the image of the unicorn. Module 3. The third module is a training module that fixes the achieved state and makes it stable and repeatable in real life. Work with the lungs through balloons. The child's breathing stabilizes. The lungs and diaphragm are worked through the exercise and are filled with oxygen. Spontaneous speech is maintained. Training. We inflate a balloon. The lungs and diaphragm are filled with oxygen. Fixation. Spontaneous speech is reproduced. Milena, 9 years old. She underwent rehabilitation with modular fairy tales for partial hearing loss. Before the start of the work, she could hear at a distance of 3 meters. Recovery was fast. The nervous system recovered. In the therapeutic fairy tale, Milena chose 3 little dragons and gave one to a girl, according to the fairy tale storyline. Together with her, she completed 1 module. Beatrice, 8 years old, she underwent rehabilitation to restore the nervous system after separation from her mother. The family was reunited. In the therapeutic fairy tale, Beatrice chose a little unicorn and through it showed how one can cope with difficulties. Module 2. Stepan, 12 years old, he went through recovery using modular fairy tales. The stuttering was removed. Stepan started singing in a choir and took up sports. He became a leader in his class and began thinking about choosing psychology as a future profession. In the fairy tale, he showed his experience with balloons. At the moment, we are preparing the second basic fairy tale about pirates and wish fulfillment. The children have happily joined the process of writing the storyline for the future fairy tale.